Hey guys, how's it going? Heidi back again, working on the van over here in beautiful Ohio. Got the beautiful barn in the background. The leaves are starting to pop. I'm loving it. It's nice. Got the barn all opened up. Finally, this is only like the second time I've been out here working on this van where I've been able to actually open the barn up because I've been doing this work all winter. Alright, so let me talk about what we're working on here today. When I say we, I mean the dog and the cats, who really don't contribute much to getting this built other than sitting around and looking cute and keeping me from going completely nuts doing this project. I got quite a lot of plywood up on the walls in here, and I've started doing some painting on the ceiling. I got the plywood up. I actually started building a cabinet here. Got this wall up and painted. So last night I was working on this back wall. Anyway, another thing I want to work on today is getting the boxes in these windows. So I went out to Lowe's and bought some 1x8s. So I wanted to make sure I got wood that's deep enough to where my cats can climb up here and sit in the windows on both sides. This is something I discovered when I got back. I got some water stains on this wood. As you know, I put this window in last time. And when I came home from the road and I got into the van, I was kind of in a panic when I saw the water stains on the wall, because immediately I was thinking, oh my God, the windows are leaking. So I inspected my windows. It turns out they're not leaking. You know, I've got the weather stripping, and I also have a layer of butyl tape, and I thickened the walls in here to make sure the windows are nice and tight and there's no gaps. Yeah, you can see here I got butyl tape. And these windows, if I try to pull on them, they're nice and tight. There's no gaps. This side, hang on a second. Whew. Yeah, you can see the butyl tape sticking out here. I mean, these windows are, if I pull, there's no gaps. So what I think is happening here is butyl tape. I think it's just condensation from the metal on the windows, and then it's dripping onto that Luan. What I need to do to fix this issue is deck stain and sealant. I love deck stain and sealant. It's awesome. So I put deck stain and sealant on the inside of the doors on my cargo trailer. It had 3 doors. I put that deck stain and sealant on there. And on the inside of the doors on those cargo trailers, they actually have the real thin Luan like I'm using here. I covered it with 3 layers of deck stain and sealant. So I've never had any moisture getting into the wood grain because of that deck stain and sealant. It works extremely well in my view. The water just wicks right off of it. So that's what I'm going to have to do with the wood I put in here. Oh my gosh. Eventually, once I get this more finished, I'm going to add shelves up top here like this. And those will go on both sides all the way down. This will be a nice place. And I'll put a little lip on the edge like this. That'll be a nice place for the cats to hang out, or a place for me to store stuff. Alright, one last thing I'll talk about, and then I'm going to get to work. Jeez. Okay. I finally finished this curtain. It's got these sliders, and then I added these buttons. So my friend wanted me to get, hey kitty cat, he wanted me to get all my building materials out of the barn because he's going to do some spring cleaning and stuff in here. So because I have this nice storage closet on the back of my van, I was able to put what remains of my building materials in the back. So I just got some boards of varying thicknesses and lengths, and then I still have some Luan pieces, some insulation. I don't have much insulation left. I need to finish insulating this wall, and then hopefully today I'm going to get the rest of the plywood up on this back wall. And like I've talked about in other videos, once I get all the plywood up back here, I'm going to install brackets and hooks back here And then all my tools that are in banker's boxes right now will go against this back wall and be organized in a really nice manner. So yeah, I'm really loving the fact that I put this storage area in back here. And like I talked about, I made a little opening, a little pass-through. And I'm actually going to put a removable screen in here. And then eventually I'm going to put a window in the back door. And then from the bed area, I'll have windows on both sides, and I'll have a window in the back door, and I'll be able to see out through this little pass-through. This pass-through has already come in really handy when I want to put items in the van, and I don't want to deal with the cats trying to get out the sliding door. Hey, Phoebe, you're sweet. Sweet puppy. While I was at my storage unit, I grabbed a few things out, and one of the things I grabbed was a set of stairs. I bought a set of stairs for my cargo trailer 3 years ago. I ordered them online, and it was supposed to be metal frame with wood treads. And when it showed up, it had the metal frame, which was awesome, but the treads were made out of particle board. And they had it advertised as a set of stairs that you would use for a camper. So they'll be outdoors. I'm like, this isn't going to hold up with the particle board. And it didn't. It rained one time and it was destroyed. So I ended up taking the treads off and pitching them, and I made wood treads to go onto that set of stairs. Well, then I have 2 cargo trailers. So I actually made these from scratch, and I patterned them off of that one that I bought online. I just used the way they had it framed. I just used their design, and I made a bigger set to go for my bigger trailer. And then the way I made these, I just used 2x2s for the frame of the steps. And then I used 1x6 on this tread, and I used a 1x6 here and a 1x4 here. These were just scrap pieces of wood I had laying around. So what I did is I just sanded them really nicely. I clear coated them with a polyacrylic with several layers of that. And then the 2x2 framing that I made out of just simple wood, which is basically this stuff, 2x2s. That's all I used, was these cheap 2x2s. I covered these with several layers of deck stain and sealant. And then these stairs have been outdoors for long periods of time, and they've held up beautifully because of that. Look at that deck stain and sealant. None of this wood shows any signs of water damage or weather because I used the deck stain and sealant. It's great stuff. And these are really hardy, heavy-duty stairs. Now I can get in and out of the van a lot more easily. This is what I was using, this little flimsy plastic step. Now that's what I try to do. I try to take scrap pieces of wood like I did with this little stool for the dog, and this toilet I made for myself. I just use scrap pieces of wood and just throw these things together. Alright, that's all I got for right now, guys. Hopefully this is helpful to someone, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.